Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we are reviewing the two new tanks that was released yesterday, M26 T99 Pershing as well as XM1. So first we'll go over the tier 8 premium medium, and as the name suggests, this tank is identical to Pershing. Very minor differences. The armor same, in fact it has better DPM than Pershing, same premium shell penetration, as well as same turret as well as side armor, similar gun handling. This tank has 10 less view range but 5 better concealment. So there are slight variations, like very minute, so no difference, and plays exactly like Pershing as well. Except this tank has unguided rockets similar to Camouflage. It loads 4 of those at a time. I played a few games in the tank to see if I can have some decent shots with rockets, but it's not that easy as with any rocket tank, because you have to wait for targets that are stationary, usually very helpful when facing artilleries. That's what artilleries deserve anyway, right? But other than that, you have to wait for either the target stationary not looking at you, you can go behind them, or glass cannon tanks such as Baby Waffle, Borsig. So for the most part I use primary gun to play the tank. Don't even worry about switching to the small gun for targets that are moving or at range, because you'll end up missing and taking damage. And Pershing was also like buffed multiple times, so the gun that this tank has is, since it's same as Pershing, very good gun for a tier 8 again. But it is tier 8. We do get that improved tier 8 matchmaking now that that happened a few months ago, but still have to keep in mind though, if you like playing Pershing, you will like this tank with the ability to fire rockets. But whether you should get it or not, for me personally, I might buy this tank, but only on 50% off though. Like that's what I recommend, unless there's like an earn off going on like we had for Rogel, which I definitely recommended to get the tank. But for any other tank or any tank, unless it's a discounted price of 50%, I wouldn't recommend to buy it, and especially it's not even top tier. But for those who love Pershing and wanted a premium variant, here it is. More enjoyable to play than Freedom, because Freedom is sluggish. This is identical Pershing, just a Pershing where you can make more silver. But again, Cold War does have better silver earners in our current meta, so you have to kind of decide. But not worth it at full price. At 50%, just because it has rockets, I would like to buy it. I might buy it, like I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'll probably around Christmas or something. Just because of that novelty, because it is the first tier 8 with unguided rockets. It did also manage to shoot artillery with the rockets. That is the one satisfying feeling with the rockets, when you just delete the artillery that keep bombing your entire game, but when you finally spot that artillery, you can take him out of the game. I have the camo build, same as Pershing, same crew that I'm using for American mediums, because the tank does have decent camo, and you kind of, stealth is your friend in any medium. For equipment, I'm using loader, camo, and optics as well, again so that I can free peek tanks, get the first shot for free, and get back in cover, because camo is your friend in current meta, especially because if there are light tanks running around, you don't want to get outspotted that easily, or at least you want them to overcommit a little bit where you can punish them. So starting with the game now, I have 3 pens or 4 pens, a little bit of assist damage, nothing special. The score is leading by 2 tanks. I rotated to the right side, that's where most of the enemies were. I'm getting targeted and detected by someone. Decided to go back, but trying to find like a good position. Didn't want to lose HP, because there are some tier 9s of the game. I got lucky that Bar didn't pen me earlier, but might not be lucky again. However, Bar was taken out by our Tortoise and other medium tanks in the town. Trying to find an opening, going towards the left side. This is highway basically. As you can see, a lot of our players are playing hull down at 8-9 line, around between the C and F area. That's how highway plays out. You can farm as the enemy is coming to you, as well as you have shots on the town, which we did. 432 try to pen me, bounce. Kind of a lucky bounce, you know. Pershing does have armor, a little bit of armor, but not enough to reliably bounce. You can bounce off with the tier 7 and 6 more reliably, but for tier 9 you kind of have to get lucky. That tank had smaller caliber gun. I guess not small for tier 8 actually. But just got unlucky, hit it at a weird angle. You can kind of side scrape in Pershing and this tank as well. It is a Pershing essentially, right? It is M26 Pershing T99 Pershing with rockets. That's what a tank is. The differences are negligible when non-rockets are concerned. Like if you just remove rockets from this tank, 99% how Pershing plays, or what Pershing stats are. 432 do ended up penning me this time while I was tunnel visioning the coordinates which I tracked. And our team did manage to pen him. Usually whenever you track your teammate for the tank to fix his track before shooting, but I was lucky this time that our team did hit him, and I ended up getting some track assist. We're leading by 3 tanks, decided to push in the middle since we seem to have cleared the right side of the map. However, our push that was happening on the K line, very difficult push. Any new or not that experienced player will die, and that's what happened. We lost 2 tank scores. We're only winning by 1 tank, and I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere though. However, because the 432 that was scoping me earlier rotated to the other side to finish the medium, it kind of allowed me the opportunity to just drive forward. Wanted to get in the river so that I have somewhat cover. And since our team did finish most of the tanks on the AB line, and the one that didn't, or the one that survived, they retreated. T54 wasn't paying attention. Risky driving, that's what they say. Don't look at your phone while driving tanks, and that's what happened to T54. 432 was taken out by our other M26 T99. Maybe he got a chance to shoot some rockets. So far, like, no rockets, because I played games earlier in this tank and kind of realized that I don't end up hitting them, right? You have to wait for the right opportunity. Just don't use it for the sake of using them. Shell velocity is like 249. Does have decent alpha of 300. So if you can get behind tanks, or as I said, the tank, wherever there's no armor, if you can pen those 4 shells, very satisfying. T95, full health T95 gets spotted. Try to track the T95 so our team can farm, and also to add to my existing tracking damage of 969. And there you saw it, our fellow T99 shot rockets. However, I don't think he did anything to T95, but did fall victim to Brask. T95 still full health, and our team managed to finish most of the enemy tanks, except the T95 is not paying attention to me. And that seems like we might have another T20 or T99, as you can tell by those rockets. They don't do much friendly. I think they like behave a little bit. I think they behave a little bit different than AT, because a lot of the times I will have no damage, and AT would do some damage, especially when you have 300 alpha. Brask is the last remaining tank. I mean, there's still artillery, but that is not considered a tank, and that's where the T99 was. I was a little bit lucky that the fellow T99 decided to go to the other side, but I had a feeling the artillery is where it always is, at J1. So switch to my rockets, and this is where you'll be able to see the rockets. 4 rockets straight into artillery, and is dead. Very satisfying feeling to kill those artillery. And a decent result, 4k damage, 16k assist. However, the assist was split. 2100 base XP, 5 kills. If I had one more kill, would have got the hero mod medal and additional 25% XP. That didn't happen. So that was for this tank. It's okay, just a premium Pershing with rockets. So buy it on 50% if you can wait. But you just don't know when the wait will be, right? Like when it'll get released. But it is nothing special. Like, I'll definitely wait for 50% to get the tank. And now our next tank is Era 2 Western Alliance top tier premium tank. As we all know, there are tiers between in eras, and this is a top tier tank, judging by the price, because 12,500 is how much a top tier tank costs. 1100 for a mid tier, or 11,000 for a mid tier, and 10,000 for bottom tier. The tank plays very similar to Leopard 2AV. If you have Leopard 2AV, then there's not really any need to buy the tank. This tank has a better DPM than Leopard 2AV, goes 72. Trollish armor. Leopard 2AV does have better armor though, but this tank is a little faster, a little better alpha, better DPM, similar aim time, same gun depression. Upper plate is trolly, but lower plate does get penned, turret gets penned. Leopard 2AV does have a little better armor, but this tank has better pen. Leopard 2AV's weak point is it has 370, this gets 421. So if that's something you didn't like about Leopard 2AV having too low pen, that's where this tank comes in, but you do sacrifice armor for it. And with the current matchmaking and with so many lights and missiles, that sacrificing that armor might be a little bit too much. If I have to go with either this or Leopard 2AV, I would go with Leopard 2AV. And again, if you have neither, it's a top tier, right? It's better to buy a top tier tank within an era than a mid tier or bottom tier, right? Definitely never buy a bottom tier. I also kind of don't really, I mean, there's some decent tanks in the mid tier, but to be honest, if you have to spend money, buy a top tier one, and that too when it's 50% off. Even for this tank, currently there's no discount. So if you don't have either Leopard 2AV or of course this one, then you can get this one for 50% off, or whichever one comes out first. If you have the Leopard, then not really much reason to buy it, unless, as I said, there are too many light tanks, too many missiles, and you take a lot of damage. Regular shells can bounce off your upper plate, but there's no cure for missiles, right? What happens when they come behind you? It does feel like that extra DPM, because Leopard takes kind of forever to shoot, and as I said, it has better alpha. I also kind of don't play Cold War that much, and kind of the gun handles differently in era 2 and 3 and even 1, and I do end up missing a lot of shots. And here you can see Brynus came, I missed my first shot, kind of pushed him, got penned by him. He is shooting heat from what I could tell, and he still managed to pen me at least once. I kind of RBRT few of the shots and ended up missing him, then decided to aim better, and I'm now down to 800. If I had not missed my first shot, and I think missed 2, I would have taken one less shot. As we'll see, I will need all the HP I can get. We are currently winning, or sorry, the score's currently even 9 versus 9. T79 not really paying attention to me, and we ended up finishing him as well. Now winning by 1 tank. And that's the thing about Cold War, you can't really judge, right? And that applies to any mediums as well, or any tank that doesn't have armor. Late game carry becomes a little bit too hard, unless you're like a light tank with super mobility, or you have like a really good armor like a FV. And this is where I kind of struggle with this tank, because I would get penned if the aim, even the turret gets penned. So trying to play safe, AMX-30B is crossing through the trees. It's not that easy to get a shot into him. Wanted to help our teammate because he's the only one that's kind of providing vision on that side, and I ended up bouncing the side. Again, this is just something Cold War does. We do have that changes as well now to the side armor, where you can only, or the overmatch works with the 3.5 times. If your caliber is more than 3.5 times the armor instead of 3 times. Do pen the 30B, however did not finish him. I do have another XM with me. He has to be more careful. He takes a shot from the medium, who was a little bit overconfident unless he saw there's 2 of us, and he stopped. T99 also made the same mistake. Do ended up getting penned. He bounced off me as well, and is now 2 shot for me. Team is losing by a tank. We do have a cross, but we need to get rid of these tanks quickly. before the rest of his team arrive. And there's Leopard. He's one shot. Our light tank. No, not the light tank. The XM finished the Leopard. Rushed my shot, ended up hitting the dead tank. This is where you need, you need to pen every shot, especially when you have a side of tanks. And that kind of caused my teammate taking an extra hit, if I'm not mistaken. Scores even. And then this is killer light tank. Every time I save it, you get cursed. And Cat shows up with his almost full health. And no, there's Stingrays over on the other side. Don't know where the last medium is. I went around to kill or flank Cat. However, he finished my teammate, who was down to one shot, because I ended up hitting the dead tank. Every shot matters. That's why take your time to aim. So I was trying to find the tank and flank him. He probably knows where I was, because I've been spotted multiple times. So he had an idea. I saw the tree fall over on the other side, so I thought I could like run over on this side. However, there was another tank. Cat gets spotted. I should have just kept pushing here, because I stayed and got spotted by the medium. Try to angle, bounce, and the missing Cat, or tracking him. I thought maybe I can get a 10k. Almost there, but bounced some crucial shots, which prevented me to hitting a 10k number. But yeah, that is it for today's game. Both the tanks are kind of okay. I would say rather buy it when it's on premium, but for more detailed explanation, watch the video again. So that's it for today's. Thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.